a couple of cuckoos.
Oh, dude, I
Cuckoo.
I, I want to see that. I thought at first it was gonna it was like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I was like, wow, that's gonna be fucking brutal. But yeah, it's just a couple of cuckoos. No big deal. Hey, welcome back to Anime Casuals. I'm Lucky. Here I go. This hand of mine is burning red.
And I'm Michael. Realize the only ones who should kill are those who are prepared to be killed.
Johnny. Your darkness swallowed up my son? Who decided that?
Erupting, burning.
Now all of you.
Die.
Two, four, 601.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Anime Casuals. I am Lucky.
I'm Michael.
I am a Johnny.
And not a number.
We make up Anime Casuals. Thank you so much for listening and watching the casual discussion. See, I remembered this time. I remember that this goes on 2 different platforms. Thank you for listening and watching the casual discussion where we talk about everything anime with a casual twist to it. Today, we're going to be talking about anime we want to see on the big screen. And I got this idea. I was actually really randomly, I was watching Teen Titans Go to the Movies or whatever it's called. And I was watching it. I was like, I wonder what else, like, what anime I'd like to see, like, go to the movies, you know? Because here's Robin is bitching about the fact that he doesn't have a movie in the in the Teen Titans Go movie. I was like, I wonder what anime I would like to see on the movie. So since I went ahead and talked about this one, I figured why not? Or I was the one that brought this up. Why don't I go ahead and start us off with Kaguya-sama Love is War. Okay, so this is actually coming back in a couple of weeks, or no, by this time it'll be this week, by the time this comes out at least. But I would really like to see that, just because watching some of the anime that I have seen, I just feel like they could do a lot with the characters. I know we had a really good time at Konosuba the movie. I just remember everybody laughing in there, and I would like to see like a similar thing happen in like a different setting. And I think the Kaguya-sama does a lot of those moments really, really well, where it just brings everybody together. It's not super. It doesn't take itself super seriously, and it kind of it brings your and you can bring your date to it, if you want to watch some romance, or if you're all alone, like some people out there, you can go ahead and watch it on your own and laugh, and you can laugh at your pain. So there you go. Kaguya-sama Love is War is my first pick.
Okay, mine is, I don't think they could do all of it, but I would definitely like to see Bakuman come onto the big screen.
Interesting. Okay.
I think, and this is in relation to Platinum End, Bakuman is a series worthy of being highlighted and maybe getting an update to its animation. It was made by the creators of Death Note, but this is a story about making manga, and it's purely dedicated to how hard it is to break out in like Shonen Jump, and it kind of follows the process of 2 kids who are trying to get their work submitted, a writer and an artist, and they team together to try to make something interesting. And it kind of talks about that process, but it's also a love story between our writer, our artist, and a voice actress who have this really weird deal with each other that they will get married as soon as she voice acts for his work.
Ooh.
And they also promised each other that they would not see each other or talk to each other until that happens. But they are able to text and write letters. So it's like this very cute, awkward story between the 2 of them. And eventually the writer starts dating the voice actress's best friend. So there's like this kind of square between them, and like there's still communication going on, but it's fun to see like their progress to their goals. And it would be fun to kind of truncate it down into a movie, like maybe like a hour and a half to 2 hour movie, just so you can see like the first grand arc of them like building up to their first big manga. Because just kind of like Yu-Gi-Oh, it's fun to watch when new things are created just for a series. Like Yu-Gi-Oh had a bunch of like little games that they would sprinkle in there, and this one sprinkles like a lot of different little one-off manga, like where you get to see the story. And I just really like the series and wanted to get more exposure.
Nice. My first one, actually, we had just talked about this a little bit in the other one, the weekend talk, but I would kind of like to see a Sabakui Bisco movie. I would like to see a prequel specifically. I would like to know where all this stuff came from, because like we were talking about, I don't know exactly what future it has. That doesn't mean it doesn't have one, but I mean, I feel like there's so much that they could get out of a prequel, because there's so many absurd things in that show and they're so great. I just want to know a little bit about them. You know, why is everything water based? Why is a hermit crab a giant fortress? It's insane. I have these tiny questions that I just want to know. So I think Bisco would be a fun one to watch in theaters, and it would just be more absurdities, more fish flying through the world. We could see those whales for once. I don't know. So yeah, Bisco. Give me a movie.
Nice. That's a really good one. I didn't actually think about that one. So this this one I think is just me projecting the fact that I can't see them in concert. This is Zombieland Saga. I really want to see this on the big screen for some reason. I think it's just because I want like other people in there to be vibing the same way I am whenever the fucking songs hit. Because like, to be honest with you, I think Zombieland Saga, and I made a video about this a while ago, I still think to this day that it is the best idol anime that has ever been created. Granted, I have not seen all of them. There aren't a whole lot out there. I've seen a couple of them. But yeah, Zombieland Saga just has such a crazy premise, and all of its songs are like really good. Like it kind of like, it reminded me of oh my gosh, like the difference between Encanto and Moana. I know it's really weird to bring up, but since Lin-Manuel Miranda worked on both of those, it's like with Moana there was like almost every song was memorable, whereas Encanto, like everybody just like talks about, well, okay, you're not supposed to talk about him, but you know, no one talks about Bruno or whatever its fucking name is called, or we don't talk about Bruno. Yeah.
Triggered.
So you know, that's the only song that I remember from that very well. So, and that's how I feel like with Zombieland Saga, like almost every song is, well, especially from the second season, is just fucking fire. And I would just love to see them do a straight up, like, we go to the movies and we fuck shit up, like, course of it. Because I feel like they have a little bit, they have that cool little freedom to, like, play with the audience, too. That was another thing that I saw in Teen Titans Go, the movie, where, like, they call out the audience sometimes, break the fourth wall. So that would be kind of cool to see as well. So, I don't know. We'll see if that one ever gets it. Maybe after season 3, after we deal... Well, okay, I can't say that because it's spoilers, but whatever. After we deal with what we deal with in season 3. So, yeah.
My next one, for the same reason as my previous one, is Keep Your Hands Off Isaacin.
Oh, that's a crazy one.
in this series, they make a short movie, which actually it's one of the few series about like creating media or just creating anything that actually shows off a short. Like throughout the series, they literally show off basically the meat of whatever they're making. I think their first short is like a minute long, and they show it off in its entirety to show off, you know, the cinematography, the story that they tell, and basically how much work goes into making it. It would be so interesting for them to make a movie, because then they could make like a 15 or 10-minute long short within the actual anime and just show off all the nitty gritty that goes into them creating their little anime. Because I watched Shirobako, which is about making anime, but it comes from like a work point of view and a studio point of view. So it shows like all the multi-levels, but Keep Your Hands Off Isaacin is really interesting because it's just a team of 3 who's making it. And then they try to incorporate like all these other clubs on campus to like try to get some stuff rolling out faster. And I really, really like the characters. All 3 of those girls have great personality. They all have a good mind for what they're trying to do. And I would just like to give them a whole movie if we can't get a season 2, give them like an hour and a half to 2 hours to really make something and keep it going so we can see more of what's in their brain. Like the weird alien one that they did like towards the end of that series was really fun. So I'm like, what else could come out of the series?
No, I totally agree. Actually, that was, I didn't put it on my list, but it was one that I had thought of and I was going to try and remember to say.
Yeah.
Keep Hands Off Ice Skin is, I think that would be an amazing one for all the same reasons that you actually said. So stop copies me.
Stop copies me.
My next one, admittedly, just because we have oh shit, what was it called? Promere?
Yep, Promere.
It made me think of Fire Force. I think Fire Force would be amazing to see, both visually and just the sounds you get to hear. I mean, I love watching, you know, Fire Force or you know, any Fate series where they have those intense fight scenes with the crazy sound effects, and it just adds to the scene and just the impact of what's happening. So I think Fire Forces would definitely benefit from that. And I would be really excited to see something like that. Just a big budget film for crazy Fire Force nonsense. So Fire Force.
Dude,
Love
nice, bro.
Love it.
Dude, so this one's a little bit, this is very specific. Okay, so we've been talking about like, oh, maybe they can put like, you know, this, and maybe they can like have the first part of something in there. This is very specific. I would like to see a sequel to Your Lie in April. Now, hear me out for a second. I know
you're trying to get us canceled.
Yeah. So I think I'm not gonna say what happened in Your Lie in April, just so nobody, you know, freaks out. There's no. I'm not gonna spoil it, but I would like to see what happens after what happens in Your Lie in April, just because I remember it left off on this very this very somber note, but it also left being very hopeful, which I actually don't mind. By the way, I don't mind if Your Lie in April ever gets a second season or sorry, I don't mind if there's ever a continuation of the story or if there's not, right? But I think that would be so cool to get like an hour and a half of, hey, this is where they're at now, kind of thing going on, because I really even though I've only watched it once, the characters stick in my mind like every single one of them just stick in really like they really stick out. And so I just thought that would be like a cool little like, hey, instead of an OVA, why don't we just fucking throw it in a movie? You guys can cry in a movie theater, and yeah, it'll be great. So yeah, Your Lie in April, the sequel, coming to a movie theater near you.
Okay, I'm gonna throw out a joke one because I would actually go see this movie, but it would be really funny. Interspecies Reviewers, we need a full movie dedicated to this, because I think it would be the funniest movie that ever existed. Because you could binge the entire series and it kind of feels like a movie, because it's actually in a lot of harem fan service anime. It's not canon like from episode to episode. Like there's no continuity between it. It's just like, and now the next thing, and now the next thing, and the only thing that's continuous is like the women that go from episode to episode. Like
and the bar, I guess.
Exactly. But Interspecies Reviewer is one of those that keeps continually talking about like their first, their second, their third episodes and how they've come like evolved from then and how their story has gotten greater and greater. And like towards the end of Interspecies Reviewers, they're pretty well known, as a spoiler, but they're pretty well known. And it'd be really interesting to see them like now go worldwide in their adventure to find the different brothels and like just on their adventure to rate all manner of things. So I think that would be a pretty fun movie that probably would have an absolute R rating on it, but who cares?
Straight
like
to DVD.
Yeah, straight out of Funimation. We're done with it.
Straight to pirated.
But I think it would be very fun to have as a movie. And I know we would make an adventure to Texas so we could all watch it together.
I'd watch that in subs. I'd do it.
Just for you, baby.
That's another one actually I thought about. I just didn't know how to bring it up. But yeah,
I got you.
That also would be good.
I got you, buddy.
My next one, I don't know, kind of surprised me when I thought about it, but I think there could be a Dress Up Darling movie. I think it could be interesting. I could see just like kind of they have to travel like out of state somewhere, and then they have to do like a 3-day con or something for some reason. I don't know. I just thought I could see it happening. I could see it working. I could see a movie there. I mean, they've got the great budget already, and they're doing great stuff. With costume work, character stuff. I mean, it's all great and it looks awesome. So I think Dress Up Darling would be an interesting one to see. So yeah,
dude, nice.
agree.
That's a really good one. So this one kind of goes along with Michael's. But I don't know. I don't know why, man. Like this is one of the first ones that came up in my head. World's End Harem. I don't know, dude. Like there's something about seeing this movie in fucking theaters and watching all the fucking degenerates just like make their way in like waves of fucking perverts and degenerates and all that other shit, and just watching them, and then also everybody, like when something actually emotional happens, like people actually crying at it. Like I want to see all of it. And
they're raping him.
Oh my god, dude. Oh my god.
Either one of you say Goblin Slayer. You get out of here.
Yeah, dude. So World's End Harem, dude. I don't know what it is. I think it's because the fact that it actually has an interesting story, the fact that it actually has like ridiculous moments that are like only in fan service things, but they're explained so well, because that's the one thing, right? Like if you're gonna have ridiculous moments and then you explain them, it's almost like you're like, oh shit, like that it almost makes you think that it could actually happen in real life. You know what I mean? Like that's how I felt with Kill la Kill. Like it actually explains what happened. And then you start thinking like, oh, maybe that could happen. It's like, well, no. Let's calm down here. But because they explained it, it makes it like almost okay. Like all of a sudden it's become acceptable. So, that's that one. Let me see how we're doing on time. Well, I mean, why don't I just read off like the rest of mine, and then if you guys want to go ahead and read the rest of yours, let's see. Rising of the Shield Hero was another one. I just think it's really epic, and it has a big enough fan base to the point where I was actually gonna say what is it, Isekai Quartet, but it's already getting a movie, so I'm like, all right, whatever.
Really?
Yeah, so wait,
Tanya already has a movie.
Yeah,
like it's a couple of those already has
It
movies
just
too.
almost seems better. It's just kind of like half an hour of just all the anime.
Yeah.
But that's fine.
Yeah,
I'd still watch
exactly.
it.
But Rising of the Shield Hero, I really enjoy it, so I figure why not just let them have their own movie. Also, in that same vein would be, I don't remember if it did. I don't think it came to the big screen though. It was Ray Zero. I remember it had like a movie, but it didn't really. I don't think it came to theaters. I'm watching Tiger and Bunny right now, which is actually coming out later this week, as of this video's release. So. Or podcast. That one, I feel like since they do My Hero Academia movies like every fucking year, like you could at least do another superhero anime, and that would be really, really cool. And I think, I think that's it. So, Michael, what else you got?
My first one, I guess I will start off with one that I want to see a movie, because I feel like the next season this could be a movie. Like if the next season of Dr. Stone was a movie, then Lucky would finally watch it. But but I feel like they could, like with the premise that they're coming up with for the next thing, without spoiling it for Lucky or anybody else who hasn't watched it, I think they could truncate that to a movie and it'd be really fun. I actually kind of enjoy this new trend of them truncating parts of the series into movies, as long as they don't do it again as a TV show. Like that pisses me off. But like doing it as a movie in the first place means that there is enough meaningful content and enough like fluff that they could cut out and be like, this is the meat of what this arc is, without losing anything. And so I like that. But in I just want to say Stone Wars, Dr. Stone, they have a lot of good content in there that I wouldn't even care if it was like full canon or full story progression. I think they could just have fun, like tackling some other part of science maybe they don't have enough time to talk about in the series that they could do there. The other one I want is more of a special, so maybe like an OVA. Food Wars is over, but the creators of Food Wars have started to make these little shorts all about Sanji in One Piece, where it's a moment in Sanji's life, like him on the Happy Island.
Yeah. Okay.
Him learning about other food, him and Wano like doing the ramen. And it focuses on his food creation, which I think would be amazing for them to tackle as little shorts, like 45-minute or 30-minute long OVAs that would just fill out Sanji a little bit and talk about his actual cooking instead of just his fighting skill. Because it would be fun to kind of look at just how much he goes into cooking, and it make it like Food Wars, where he's talking about all the random One Piece ingredients he's adding into the mix, and like people's reaction to the food, and they have a Food Wars level reaction to his food, and then you could like easily spice them into the show itself and have fun with it.
I can see Sanji just dying. I mean, he does that. They get the I don't remember what it's called, the thing where they get all their clothes ripped off.
Yeah.
And Sanji just dies from that, and then he has to get disqualified for getting blood everywhere or something. I don't know, but that would still be fun. I'd still love to see it.
Yeah. That I would love that. Plus, it's got a manga source to it, like that they've been working on. And then the last one might be Golden Kamui, but I don't know what the movie would be about. So that's just like a hope of mine that they kind of would throw in a Golden Kamui movie. But
I think I'd like that at the end.
At the as a movie,
we almost have all the skins.
Yeah,
let's put them together.
Yeah, and then put it. Yeah,
creepy.
I would really like that. Okay, go ahead, Johnny.
So had a bit of overlap with you guys, but the last two I thought of, it might be even just too much for a movie, but a One Punch movie. I think it'd be fun to give One Punch Man all of the budget, and he just destroys everything. I don't know why, but he does, and I think it'd be really fun to see.
Just you wait.
I will always take a DBZ movie. Give me a Dragon Ball Z movie anytime, anywhere. I'll watch it.
I was gonna joke about that, but I was like, "There's already DBZ movies," but I was like, there could always be more.
There could always be more. Give me Brawly 2.
It's like you saying about My Hero. It's like there's already those movies, but you know what? You're right. We could have more. That's fine.
Well, Goku's always getting in shenanigans to put everybody in danger just so he can fight people. I mean, it would totally work. I'd love to see it.
This time, I'll fight the inner spirit of the earth.
No, they'll have to fuse Brawlies. No. Okay, I'll stop.
I thought you were gonna say he has to fight Interspecies Reviewers. I was like, oh shit, bro, that would be wild. Oh my gosh,
make love, not war.
Yeah, they got to fight on Interspecies Reviewers terms.
What do you do with this?
Go make love to your wife.
Put it in here.
Oh my god, man.
Super Saiyan.
Yeah, now you got me. Well, okay, not Interspecies Reviewers, but you got me really looking forward to seeing some of this shit on the big screen at some point. But either way, hopefully you guys enjoyed our list, whether or not you're listening or watching this podcast. Thank you guys so much for watching or listening to Casual Discussion. Remember, you can check out all things casual at the link tree in the description box down below. Also, if you'd like to email us, you can email us at animecasuals with an S, real, REAL, @gmail.com. But as always, guys, don't forget to keep
it casual.